Hey guys, welcome to the video. My name's Leigh and today I'm going to be talking you through some tips and tricks on point cutting. In this tutorial we're going to be focusing on point cutting length versus point cutting for texture or reducing density. Before we get into the good stuff, I want to run you through some technique and how to hold the scissors effectively. So grab your scissors and comb and hold them parallel. Point the scissor away from you and then turn it back to yourself, keeping the shoulder and the elbow relaxed. As soon as you turn the shoulder up, this creates too much tension and the body has to tilt. Again from the side, point the scissor away, turn it back to your body while keeping the elbow and the shoulder relaxed. As soon as you turn the elbow up, there's too much tension in the shoulder, the elbow and the wrist, causing long-term discomfort. One more time, point the scissor away from you, then turn it back to the body, keeping the elbow and the shoulder nice and relaxed. You can see as soon as we lift the elbow, there's too much tension in the shoulder, the elbow and the wrist, causing long-term discomfort. Just practice that a few more times before you move on. It's also really important to pick the right pair of scissors for this technique. Ideally, you want to find a pair of scissors with an offset handle. This will ensure maximum comfort for your thumb and your wrist. As you can see, when the thumb is in its natural position, it's very easy to move. When it's stretched, there's unnecessary tension. Natural and stretched. Okay, so once you've got the technique down and you've been practicing that, you really got to remember to prepare the hair properly, whether that means blow drying the hair or straightening the hair. This is really going to help you to achieve the best result. I can't stress enough how important it is to prepare the hair properly for this technique to work efficiently. Okay, so now that you've got the hair prepared, I'm going to move on and show you how to cut a line for length with point cutting. So we're going to start out here by taking our first section at the back of the head. We're going to pull up to where we want to cut, and keeping the cuts extremely shallow, running the steel blade along the finger, closing as we go. We'll go again a little slower this time. We'll take our second section. We'll clip away any unnecessary hair, taking a small piece of hair from our previous section, and that will create our guideline. Remembering a few things here. The steel blade of the scissor will run along the finger and the thumb will do the work, cutting a shallow, jagged edge until the second knuckle. Comb as many times as needed to complete the section, and you can see how we're keeping form in the line, creating a nice textured edge by point cutting. So now that you've point cut the line for length, we're going to move on to point cutting for texture or reducing density. These techniques are very similar, but they do produce different results. So for this technique, we're going to work in a similar fashion. We're going to take our first section and clip away any unnecessary hair. A few key differences here. The scissor will not be on as much of an angle, staying much more parallel to the hair shaft. The scissor is going to go deeper into the hair, creating nice soft texture. As you can see, one side of this section is a lot heavier than the other, so we're going to give that side a bit more work. The beauty of point cutting this way is it's extremely accurate. We can personalize this section however we want to and reduce the density exactly where we see it. Take note on the length of the scissor that you use for this technique. A smaller blade will point cut very shallow. A long blade will point cut a lot deeper. Shallow point cutting will give you light texture, removing density in the ends. A longer blade will allow you to point cut a lot deeper and remove a lot more density, adding a lot more texture. So here is the same technique with a longer blade. We're going to start the same way, take our section, clip away any unnecessary hair, but you'll see this time that the blade reaches a lot deeper a lot easier. Notice how the density is being reduced extremely quickly with a longer blade. Here's a comparison of the two scissors next to each other. One is a 5.5 inch blade and one is a 7 inch blade. You can see next to each other, at the bolt, the 7 inch blade is a lot lower, so naturally it's going to be able to get deeper texture. You can always check before you do this technique to see which blade you really need to use. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial covering point cutting length versus point cutting for texture and reducing density. Hopefully you could take something away from this, add to your current technique, or change your outlook completely. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for more tutorials.